Good morning, everyone. Uh, Welcome to Get Rich and Fit Train, and you're going to have some fun today. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. Let your friends and family know by sharing this link to each and every one of them. Letting them know that I give you amazing and strong information. Today will be a short day. I do have a couple of things outside of trading that I gotta handle. And you already know we're more than traders, right? We're fathers, husbands, and wives, and daughters, and all that. We got stuff that we got to handle outside of trading. So my goal is to give you the best opportunity that presents itself throughout this trading cycle, and you can go ahead and conquer the world and enjoy the fruits of your labor. So that said, uh, I had made an announcement to others, and if you haven't already heard. I've taken my talents over to ES. We will be running a SPY SPX in ES. Uh, SPY SPX in ES Trio versus the duopoly that I've been running in this channel for like the longest, NASDAQ and NQ. Not saying I will not trade NQ again, but just kind of giving you a little preface of what my game plan going forward will be. So this is going to be very interesting because I do have some key levels that we are on. I played part of this rejection to the downside on the evaluation as I get myself a little acclimated to the speed and the range of the ticker like SPX and ES. Let me take that back. I've traded ES before. It's just a lot slower compared to NASDAQ. NASDAQ is like NASCAR, and this one is kind of like um I would say maybe more like 1980s street racing, right? Not so powerful like what we have right now, but you get some hair in your wind. Wind in your hair. I said it backwards. Get some wind in your hair as you're speeding by. So this is going to be very fun as we got ourselves about 7 minutes into the market opens. So the same philosophies are also going to be in play. We are still going to look for ranges. We're still going to look for trends. We're still going to go ahead and take entire price actions and take advantage of that said move. So look forward to that. Actually, let me get rid of this fair value gap because this one did get mitigated throughout the session over there. Also, I will be doing my opening range. It's no different than anything else. Same philosophies, everything else. It's just the ticker has changed. My goal is to be able to rotate around based on the parameters that is available. If you don't know, back in my heyday, I used to really look at all the indices in itself. I do have a watchful eye on those indices currently, and I'm probably gonna refresh that chart while we wait. Um, so it's basically NASDAQ. Then we got ourselves oil. Then we got ourselves the British pound. Then we got the dollar. Those things I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Russell, for those that plays IWM as well. That's going to be key over there. Like I said, British pound, silver, gold. And I kind of tour around between natural gas and ES. So we're going to be really, really having some fun over in that regard. But for the most part, NASDAQ is going to take just a little, more like instead of riding in the front shotgun seat, it's going to just ride in the back, probably the third row of a Suburban. Anyways, that said, we're going to have some fun. Let me go ahead and update this opening range. That way we are fully set for what we need to do. If you don't know, I love my opening range. Will not get rid of it because it gives me at least an idea of what the market is capable of. So let's go ahead and adjust that. Our range kind of starts over there. Let's start with the Asian session. That's our bullish and bearish lines. And this is our London session at 3 a.m. Oh, they kind of like sandwich right there, huh? And then here is our New York session, which of course is not open yet. So we're just going to keep this one unlocked for now. Let me turn my fan off so that way it doesn't drive y'all crazy. This is my derangement. I played a little piece of this. I missed this one overnight. That's what I wanted to really play. Kind of use that fair value gap as a bounce area, right? And then we kind of came into here. So nice little close below here. And actually, I'm not logged into my account. So let's go ahead and get this done. Hmm. So basically made like 479 before. So let's give it a few minutes and then I'll come back in when the open starts. See you in a bit. All right, it's 9:30. Let me get everything relatively set up. So I got NASDAQ here. I got CL here. I got gold over there. Gold over there. Silver over there. 6B. Oops. The British pound. I think I'm going to go with the natural gas. No, I don't want to put natural gas down there again. Oh, actually, I just did all of that. This is the wrong chart. This one. Did all that work. I can hear what I said. All right, let's do that again. MQ, CL, GC, silver, British pound. I had Bitcoin there. I'm gonna go ahead and natural gas. Natural gas, Russell, and the dollar. All right, we're good to go. That's an alert for something that I had set up. You got Coinbase. That's what it was. So I had a thesis around Coinbase. I'm gonna go ahead and get one entry, one shot over here for y'all. This whole entire time is not sharing my screen. Why is it not sharing my screen? Oh, okay, it does share my screen. It's just paused. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put that up there. One entry, one shot. Proprietary software with proprietary AI to make our lives so much easier. Let me drag it down. And I had a trade idea that I posted, which is this. We got Coinbase looking for this thing to enter in that lower register right there. Probably could get a better picture for that. 197 on the entry, so that would basically be our daily. Looking for something like that to happen. That's what I want to see. So a nice close under 197, which we just penetrated not too long ago. I think that's what kind of gave that trigger. So we're going to see what happens there. Actually, let me put that in a different. Okay. Okay. And let's get that other trading view up and keep my eye on Coinbase up here. And if it does end up closing below, I'll let you know. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this 15-minute on ES. Let's see what's going on over there. Looks like we got ourselves a nice little low right here. Solid. Got ourselves a high right there. Perfect. It's kind of having a little trouble on that bear range in itself. Consider probably scalping it right back down to that downside again and seeing what it do. But yeah, gonna be patient here. It's gonna be a little patient. Mm, 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 mm. I'm trying to make a push to the upside, but I'm very tempted. And like I said, I'm gonna do this probably on my eval side. And oh, actually, let me get out of here. Let's get over to the scalps and see if there's anything here. We got Ethereum to the downside, Bitcoin to the downside. So this is gonna be very fun. Actually, let's take a peek over on those two. Ethereum, Coinbase. Oh, talking about taking some profits. Let's look at it in a 2 hour. Very massive move. Here's our first green candle. Probably building the base here as they try to get back up there. And that's what it looks like. And then BTC. Oops, not that one. BTC on base. Yeah, a little bit of a retracement. I won't be surprised if this comes back a little bit more and then it just goes and take off to the downside. We'll see. We will see. All right, let's get back over to ES. It's gonna be weird. I was like, I always say, let's go back to NQ. I almost said that like this. No, I might be doing it. I might just be pulling the trigger. Get under that bear range again. I dare you. Because it looks like we're rejecting this order block. And if that momentum is actually right, we're going to go ahead and probably push this right back down to the downside. Based on a lot of my action based on this 45 minute, 45 minute got 7 minutes left on it. But it has to give a strong confirmation that it's going to go ahead and get below those levels. But you can see there was no confirmation. It pushed back out. But it does look like it wants to reject. But wanting and doing is two different things. All right. Let me keep an eye on NQ on the 45 minute and everything else as well. Oh, that's why. So NQ has hit its 27,500 level and then rejected. Oil, I'm going to come up with some psychological levels of oil. We'll play around with that probably later on today. Let's get rid of smart money concepts and let's add on the dominance. Got to get that market dominance. Uh, 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 uh. All right, Cody. There we go. Boom. There we go. There we go. 45 minute. Looks like oil is trying to find a way to take it back off to that upside. Gold is struggling. How come you don't have dominance? Turn you on. You have yours. That looks good. Yeah, it's sitting on top of a 45-minute fair value gap right now. All right, we got 6 minutes left on this candle. We're gonna see what happens in the market. British pound looked like it's trying to power right back up, which is why we get some of this action from ES. If you don't know, the British pound is the inverse of the US dollar. Natural gas has been picking up. It's probably raising its prices because of everything that's going on with the Strait of Hormuz. Russell, oh, what a massive candle. I do think we're going to get some domestic investment. So you're going to see a lot of good things that's going to go with the Russell. Okay. Oh, look at that. Nice little push. Still trying to sweep the sell side liquidity. See if they can get it. And this is the dollar. Look at the dollar. It is struggling to get all of that gap. Let me see what that gap looks like. We got inside of that gap and then rejected. Very interesting. Be careful for traps. Be careful for traps. All right, SoFi is ready. The reason why it says SoFi is ready, it is because over in the Discord, we have something called Compound Central, ticker command. And this is exactly where we get some information. SoFi falls into this list in itself. And right now it is closing off of a position that it had, which was a sell to close. And then what was there open? This is out of curiosity. Let's see if it actually benefited. There goes SoFi. The buy to open was at $18, and the system said get out at 1909. You should have at least got 25% off of that, depending on what contract you got. So shout out to Ticker Command for providing. If you notice, I got quite a few different AIs that gives you some types of trading ideas. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Coinbase is really trying to hold that entry level. That's why I marked off that entry level, saying we should be holding below it, but they basically are saying, no, we're not holding below anything. We're going to go ahead and really beat you up. So it's gonna be interesting. What the hell? How did that just do that? 16 by 9. All right, let's get this out the way so we could. Oh, look at you, still powered up. That's probably why Coinbase is pushing when we get something like that. And that's a strong possibility. Make sure I got these ducks in a row. Still got a couple of short trades, but I am not trying to do any short trades right now. Make sure there's no reports coming in. My FX book is a really, really good one for us to get information when it comes down to stuff like that. So let's go ahead and yeah, my FX book. Let's see. We have absolutely nothing for today. We got some bond auctions and stuff like that that can have some effect, but nothing really too stand out. Ooh, get under that bear range. Get under there. I dare you. Oh, there we go. Yep, yep, hey, hey, let's see what we got. Very light on this one because it is still the open. We got a minute and 50 seconds. Did they take out sell side liquidity? They got a good chunk of it, but let's just say that they reloaded the boat at that level where the open range ends. Good close under 71.93. Could be a good catalyst for us to just go ahead and purely unadulteratedly just dump with all types of no regard of people's stop losses. A target that will be targeting is that 71.84, and anything outside of that would be icing on the cake. So we will see how this relatively goes because I think it might be tied, just maybe. But yeah, we'll see. We just take what the market gives us.
And that's nothing.
Oh, oh, what up, Hobby? Oh, let me put the volume up. I didn't even know you was here. How you
I was,
doing?
I've been hiding.
Nah, it's all good. As long as you hiding and making money.
That's the problem. They're taking my money. I'm not making money.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I'm trying to play this range right back down because we came back into it. So I'm trying to treat this like an anomaly.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're waiting for the next 15-minute candle to give it another shot to try to get up there.
Is that what it
Uh,
is?
I'm probably gonna risk like $150 maybe to see.
All right, let's get my 15 minutes. My 15 minutes almost.
I don't know if you got the message. I took my talents to South Beach. I mean, I took my talents to ES.
You went to ES?
Yeah, I'm changing it up a little bit.
You went to ES?
I know, right?
Man, you moving
Hey,
up
I've
in
been
the
known for
world.
NQ for so long that it's like, hold on, ES, where did that come
You're
from?
you're 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 moving up in the world.
Yeah, I'm changing it up. Oh, we got $137 so far.
So you're on
If we could
so
get a
you're
nice push. I was going, sorry.
so you're on ES right now.
I am on ES, correct. But it should be similar to what's going on with NQ right now. We get a little bit of a rejection. I'm
Yeah, it's
sorry. I think this is the start of everything relatively bearish. That's how low. We gotta get through some key levels. So don't quote me on that. It can bounce almost anywhere around here. We're still in the bull trend.
overall.
Nice. Yeah, overall, we're still in the bullish trend. You see, we just cleared that fair value gap. Do we have enough strength to really hold it down to that regard? But I can see this being very tricky trying to do any of that. because they're trying to trap as much bears in so that when their stop losses hit, it just triggers a all-time high price discovery. But if the bears really have complete control here, we could dump and get some buy side liquidity like this one here that just came in today. This was the overnight session after the London. This one right here was the one from the one on Sunday. This is Sunday. I thought that was the day before. And then this is the one that's critical, which is the one from Friday. So I'm very curious on what they want to do with it. 225 with one contract. I cannot let it come back to 125 or anything like that. I need you to keep on dumping. I'm trying to keep it far away so I can stay in this long, but if you keep on playing with that number, I might have to take these profits. Come on, get just dump. I wanted to get back to the bear range. The bear range is at 7184. That will be their target where there's ultimate buyers now. Oh, yeah, like a dot, like a dot.
I just took that. I just took that. I just took that.
You scale out, scale out. Come on, let's see. Did they sweep the liquidity or did they pick
Yeah,
up somebody?
give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right, no problem. Because if they sweep in the liquidity, we're going to go lower. They just knock some people out and they're not happy right now. So they're going to get out the way. Could this be a reload area? Very possible. But assuming that this is a bear range and we get a bearish opening range breakout, I have to take, I gotta take the $400. There's no way I get 500 and then not take the 380, 380 and some change. Can this go lower? Yes, but if I had multiple contracts, I would have peeled off in itself. That was a solid move. All right, so that account is close to $1,000. I'm gonna go ahead and shift the gears. Let's go, skirt, and we'll work on another one while we are here. Never know, maybe I could get $1,000 on the next one. I would say, if anything, I might load the boat if this thing gets under the bear range of the opening range breakout versus the reversal that I've been playing. That will make things very interesting. That was a good spot right there. That was a good spot there. And that's the thing that y'all have to do, folks. Like, I know y'all want to have these ultimate targets and everything else. If you don't have a good community or anything and you want to learn how to chart properly, I'm talking about really properly, not the stuff that you see on YouTube, even though I'm on YouTube, right? With the little games and gimmicks and, oh, I got this purple Urkel pivot, all that stuff. Mines are cartoonish too, but at least I give you the purpose of what they do from a fundamental standpoint of trading. So if you want a solid coach that can get you ready where you don't have to rely on others and take your own personal trades, by all means, DM me JD_the great on Instagram. And also, I do check my YouTube comments too. So if you want to put a comment in there, that would be great. Get that algorithm going. Don't forget to share it to friends and family. That was a solid $500. Hey, we're about to break the range again. The safest entry is here, maybe with a stop here. Yeah, I want to short it there. I want to, but I feel like I'm chasing. I do feel like I'm chasing. Very possible. I think this was a sweep of liquidity. We're at the Asian center pivot, stranger danger, equilibrium. If ES breaks below 181, actually, let me get SPX on another side because I know you look at SPX. Uh, yeah, SPX breaks below 7144. Yeah, somewhere around there, because we're filling fair value gaps right now. But those fair value gaps, after it fills, they can turn into reversal points. That's why I'm saying be careful because it's still we're 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 still in the bullish range. That's we already made all-time highs. The bulls are not going to feel scared not to put some tests on some of the bulls. I mean, all of the bears. All right, in a couple minutes, we should get some very interesting price action. We're gonna get a new 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour candle all at the same time. That's why I love doing the New York session opening at 9:30, because you could get a very interesting catalyst as the 10 o'clock candle starts to hit. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, Lil, because they just took out the previous candle on the 15 minute. You want it to close under 150. If it starts to make its way past 150, they're going to try to kidnap the bears. Oh my God, daylight savings time is so annoying. Discord, please allow for daylight savings time to update dates on times on calendars. It just makes no sense for the event to say it starts in 36 minutes. And I gotta manually change all of this. I'm gonna stop using the calendar on the Discord. It just doesn't make any sense. That is silly. I feel like fighting Discord. You see what I mean by that hold? You locked in your profit, right? My wife is taking the trade. So right here in that area, you could kind of see we got a bearish opening range breakout that they were attempting. They said no mas. Let me come to the 15 minutes so you can see that. Nice little springboard. This whole entire area, buyers are willing to step in at 184. They want to buy at those levels. We're now through the deranged stranger as we're going into stranger danger of the opening range. I know there's two different names, right? The range is for my ranges. That means it's going to stay inside of a range. It's crazy. It's backwards. It keeps going up and down. And then my stranger danger is breakouts. So we can, depending on the momentum, we can break right out. So the fun part about it, this is a very bearish line right here at this level. You're going to start seeing some wick action over here unless we just really start to put some pressure. But if the momentum here is stronger, anyone that steps in here, it's gonna be like stepping in front of a freight train carrying like 75 million carts of cargo behind it. There's just no stopping it. Bang, you see? Right? So you had those wick action right at these levels, right? And what happens? Now they're starting to sweep the liquidity. So people that put their stop losses here, they're panicking. They're like, oh, I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to continue. And then these people are like, come on, people, hold it down. And then these people are like, no, don't make it all the way up here, right? And those are the levels that we're going to be looking for price discovery as we continue to go up. And like I said, I know the Bulls are going to be bold. They're going to try to get as many higher highs because Bulls are just Bulls. They just want to play in one direction for the highs. But there's nothing wrong with that, and I will take nothing away from it. But I tell you this right now, if that thing comes right back under 193 again without making a higher high, I am probably going to be one of the ones that gets boldened into being a bear. Because then this would confirm that this is holding and the bears are readjusting accordingly. But we'll see. Because we're gonna get a new 4 hour candle, I almost want to just leave this alone and not try to get in when it breaks below that level. Like right here would be an entry. But if it's
Yeah.
at 954, I wouldn't take it. It gets back under there, another. But if it does it so many times, that means they're really affecting the upper price action movement, and I have to take it on one of them, right? Or maybe 10 o'clock just does a nice little sweep and then continues to the downside. Or maybe they just reloaded at this level because this is a range, and sometimes the ranges can act as support, and they're gonna sweep the liquidity. If you plan for the possibilities, you'll be able to plan for your trade. Now we got 3 minutes left, and we're gonna get a new 15-minute candle and up. Already, it's a new 1, 5. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of candles. All of them gonna be brand new. But the one that's important is the 4 hour and the 2 hour and the 1 hour and the 30 minute and that 15 minute that goes into that. Yeah, there's you kind of see where I'm going with that. But it's gonna be a brand new 4 hour candle overall. If you ever wanted to kind of track that, take a shot at that, I would say take a look at what happens at 10 o'clock, 2 p.m. and 4, no, 10 o'clock, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. You kind of flip it. Those are going to give you very interesting price actions. People adjust accordingly based on their parameters of their trading strategies. All right, we got 2 minutes left. It's struggling to make higher highs. They may have to give this up. When I mean may, I mean really maybe. All right, so do not bank on that. The higher time frame trend is bullish. It can stay irrational to your lower time frame. I think I need to go get a massage or something. My back hurts. Yeah, a minute 16 seconds. They're really trying to get back to that 7,200. If you remember that 7,200, this is what it was doing back here. Let me go take a peek at Coinbase after that drop. I wonder if they held some levels on that one. No, still don't like these trades. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Too close to market open. Bye bye. We'll wait for 10 o'clock. So Coinbase kind of swept the liquidity here. It says this is going to be a daily chart. I would probably aim for some June contracts. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't do May. Looking for it to be under 197, and the target is going to be 182 to the downside. Maybe 175 contracts, 180 contracts, 185 contracts. Probably the most expensive. I would not go past 170. That would be too low and too much nuisance that can affect your contract. But again, SPY can be pushing up against you because this does affect some of the stuff, those ETFs that are in SPY and all that. All right, here we go. We are closed above the bear range. They did not get a higher high. We're getting a new candle. I'm going to be very risky here. I am going to raise this and I'm going to short. Let's go with this one. Let's see what happens here. I live life on the edge. I'm risking 200 on this eval. Let's see what happens. It's going to be very tight. If it gets back on this level, I'm going to go ahead and try to short it again, which for, oh, I raised that. I only got one contract. I thought I got two. I guess I didn't hit okay. So that would be, oh, well, technically it would be 100. All right. We might be getting out of here. Might be getting out of here. Yeah, we're getting out of here. We're going to leave that alone. You would not take me all the way up to higher highs. And then I have to deal with the pain. You won't do that. But I would take that stab again, though. What up, Giant? Good to hear from you. How you doing? Welcome to the party.
What's good with you? What up?
I'm good. I'm good. I've taken my talents to South. Damn, I keep saying South Beach. I've taken my talents to ES. I done shifted gears.
How's she treating you?
It's slower. It's like, you know, it can kind of treat like NQ is more like the college girl in the nightclub, and this is more like settled down career woman over here with the ES.
Okay.
So two
I mean,
different dynamics, but relatively similar because both women. And see, that's what I was saying. They might use, even though I want to short it under this range, they may use the range as a bounce. Oh, I'm getting there again. Go ahead and let's get down there. And then I want to target right back to 184 again. See if we can get that. Now this one, I'm going to be a little bit more looser. I wanted to say 200 again, but I'm going to be loose with it. I'm going to go ahead and call it 350 because now I got two contracts. See how they're using it to reload? That's the danger with some of these ranges. Sometimes it can turn on you. You're thinking that it's going to just stay in there. Ish, not the best. It's very ugly of an M pattern. But yeah, I could see an M pattern. Just add it to my position here, playing it to the downside. Just seeing if we can get a nice Coinbase just went ahead and got below my level again. So we're gonna go ahead and probably take a peek at that. Come on, don't cost me 350. It cost me 350. All right, we get out of there. All right, so I am looking for Coinbase. Let's go ahead and come to, let's say 30 minute. Uh, damn, that would be too far. 15-minute already bounced. I would say if you want to nibble on something like a Coinbase, now that we have penetrated to that level again, I would probably take a shot at that. Actually, let's stick with three. Stick with three. And little FYI, I'm on evaluation, so I am being a little bit more riskier now that I kind of got to my goal on one of the evals. Um, get myself used to ES with this. But for Coinbase, if you want to take a slight little nibble on Coinbase for the downside, let's see what that contract would look like in June. So we're talking about coin June 18th. All right, June 18th. Oh, I gotta tweak that. I think I put 19th by accident. Right? Yeah, I think I might have. I think I might have. Make sure I wrote the right one. Huh. Oh, Juneteenth. That's why. Juneteenth. That's why. I'm like, what, the Friday is the 19th. All right, so June 18th. Update. I hope that doesn't send an email. But if it does, it happens. Oh, no! I was going to take that. I was going to take that short as soon as we crossed over. Let's see if we can get the nice little sweep of liquidity. If it gets below this open, I might add to that position. See. See if it holds it down here. Because they kept on testing it. Ah, it did not. It did not. You jerks. 675, 600, 500. Come on. And I'm going to consider if it goes 450 again. All right, I'm out of it. Nah, they beat me up on that one. All right, so we down how much? We down 1K on that one. But again, I'm being very risky on that because I do think they can't get any more highs, but they are trying to trap the bears here. I'm gonna give this section and this move one last shot, and if it doesn't, oh, but if it takes that high out, I'm not gonna do it again. But if this high stays where it is, I'll be looking for them to kind of come back and retake this whole entire wick here and come back down to these lows here, showing that there's no giving up this area. And I'm really trying to play psychological 7,200 is the real truth right there, right? And they're trying to short it off of there. But this range is acting like a bounce area. So like I said, break, here's your retest, but they couldn't get no highs. They got under here, played to the bottom of the range. Then they kind of crisscrossed it a little bit. And they're trying to use that support. So this is your break, here's your retest, and in 7 minutes, we'll find complete confirmation if they're going to go ahead and push to the upside. Could happen. We got open range breakout will take us up here, and 7,200, there's a fair value gap right in here. They might come after too. So very, very promising for upside too. But
Hello, hello, I'm back. I'm back.
welcome. Oh, terrible price. Terrible price. Ah, I wanted here. Look what they gave me. Terrible price. Oh, that is just so wrong. All right, go ahead, do your little bounce. Yeah, do your little bounce and then just come right back inside. Oh, that was a terrible, terrible price. All right, get back inside of there. That was a good little bounce. Trap. See if we can get a nice explosion to the downside here. If y'all notice, I am a scale in scaler. Scale in, scale out. That. But I am playing inside of a range that's very tricky, and this thing can go and completely rip off for like $1,000 loss right now because I got like 8 ES. It's just heavy. Do not try this at home. I'm just being very risky on the eval. Okay. It's very risky. Come on, get your butt down there. There's nothing up there for you. It did not take the higher highs here. It struggled to. We're back under the range. This is basically building a brick wall. Psychological 7,200 is being rejected. New York session is not strong enough to get back up to it. That's cute. Just need a nice solid meltdown right here and really retest this candle. If I come up to the 45-minute, this is still building like a green candle that wants to be green, but I'm thinking that it's not going to happen. Oh, come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Give me that nice stuff. Give me that nice stuff. There we go. There we go. One more push. One more push, and then that should read 1,000. Ah, come on. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Give me that spit of 1,000. There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh, I think I should take the 950, huh? Yeah, being too risky.
Yep, you should have took the
I probably
950.
should have took the 950. I probably should have took the 950. That was probably a little bit of a knucklehead move. But oh, show me 950 again, and I still hesitated. All right, if this thing shows me something like $250, I'm willing to risk to that point. Okay, there we goes 1,000. Oh,
Oh man.
It's like- I was debating on scaling out or scaling down or just taking all of it. Ah, that suck. That suck. All we got is 250 out of that. But it's all right. It's all right. I think I gave it more than enough
Huh?
tries on this place, so we're gonna leave that one alone. Let me come back over to Coinbase. Let me see what this thing is looking like. All right, so they're still bouncing off that level. I wanted it to get through Stranger Danger, then get through the Deranged Stranger, because that was a lot of momentum and a lot of weight there. All right, let me lower my leverage completely. So I'm down 700 on this eval. We're not going to go ahead and keep on testing this. Uh, if it gets back down here, you could give it a try here, but you can see the buyers are really trying their best not to give this up. Uh, in 2 minutes and 36 seconds, if we close above this level, that would really make it relatively bullish, because now we can use this area that has been resistance into support. Um, yeah, there's a couple things that I'm seeing. All right, let me go reset my alert over in Coinbase. I'll come back and revisit this again. I need to get off that chart. I don't want to see that one. Let's see what else is going on in the other side of the indices. Let's not do 15 minute. Let's do 4 hours because the bigger the time frame, the bigger the move. Shout out to Bucky. It's very entertaining to keep that in mind. So 4 hour here, oil looks like it's consolidating something relatively deep. I would be bullish every time it touches below 93.55. I'll be bearish every time it touches 970, 97.67. And that could give you a nice little momentum. Oh, these jerks might be going down, but I didn't want to take another shot at it. All right. Let's see. That's CL Gold. Oh my God, gold has been consolidating like a mofo for real too. Looking at gold, I would be bearish at 747.50 on GC and 46.80, 46.90. Upside, I'll probably play it that way. Silver, I would say it's so expensive. I don't know if you want to play around with this bad boy too much, but I will say this, it's fighting with a range. 75, 74.90 is our bullish range. I'll take the bounce off of there. And let's go bearish somewhere around 76,605. That's probably going to be the real play there. And then British pound. And let me not give you those levels. That could confuse y'all. Natural gas is breaking out already. Yeah, I would say natural gas to the upside from here. Let's see if I can find some kind of, it's a choppy up. I think they already did the breakout. Yeah, take your profits along the way. I think the TP is going to stop already. Yeah, let's leave that one alone. Let's get over to the Russell. Russell is putting in a multiple top on the daily. Dang, this thing looks crazy as they're trying to break out for higher highs. Um, Bullish above 27.89. Uh, bearish. I really want to say bearish now. I'm not going to lie to you. That's what the Russell looks like. It looks like it wants to come down from 2,800. But let's just say it doesn't. Let's call it 2805, somewhere around there. And then the infamous US dollar. Let's see. It should be strengthening up. Yep. They kind of put a doji on this thing and it looks like it's trying to flip. Oh, look at that. It closed inside. We might be coming down, folks. Might be coming down. I should have probably saw that. I'm over here looking at other stuff. Look at that. We're coming down. Does it take this wick down here? And we'll probably wrap up at 10:30. That way I give y'all the market and give y'all some more fun. Oh, yeah, that was the play. That was it. Look at that. All right, so now the buyers are probably going to try to step in here. And the reason why this is a green shade is that if the momentum is strong enough here and people are like, oh, I'm going to buy the dip, and then they get caught, this is when you get these liquidity sweeps where they're taking a lot of money from the dumb money. All right, so let's not try to be the dumb money. Let's be bullish when it kind of shows that there's some support. Like this was, oops, don't want to move you. Let's lock you. Right. Um, give you a perfect example of that. When we kind of created this and we got the opening range over here, look at what happened when we got to this lower port. There was a poke over here, then they came back in, then they tried to poke back down, they couldn't get the low, and then we gave this nice wick here. Same thing right here. We got below this level, we closed above there. Why? Because as soon as we got into here, the momentum will take you there. So I'm assuming that the momentum here, if everybody took their profits off of here, we should get a momentum all the way down to these levels, especially we just hit the deranged stranger. Actually, I don't have it labeled. Let me give you the label. Deranged stranger, right? A very crazy spot. It can baseball bat this all the way back up and turn this into a green candle, even though it was very red for the first 12 minutes. Or it can turn around and just fall through like it has no support, like a black hole. And I'm leaning on black hole only because I think the buy is probably getting out the way, but the market is going to do what the market does. There goes our stranger danger for the opening range. Yeah, that was the re-entry. That, especially that we didn't make it on higher highs and close below this level, that was a good solid move to the downside here. And with some proper leverage, this thing probably would print something very crazy. A little upset about that. But then look at the clock. If I looked at the clock, I probably would have realized the candle was closing soon. Oh, partially, I'm like, I got 1K out of one evaluation already. This one is $862. I call this 1K. I round them. And then this one is down 700. We'll see what happens there. Let me see if there's anything over at OEOS on some scalps. Let's see if we can find something fun for us to play. All right. We got some interesting things that's going to happen. If you want to be riskier, by all means, you can. But I want to kind of break this down for y'all. Oh, this thing's dropping. Let me change this chart before I go crazy. All right. So I base everything here on the 2 hours. And the first one I want to bring up is Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, the real chart. Lockheed Martin has been dropping like a lead weight, right? This is going back all the way to January. So we had Ukraine, not Ukraine, Strait of Hormuz war, speculations, this, that, third, pop here. And ever since then, this thing has been completely a turnaround. So if we go over to a yearly chart, that does not look like a chart that you want to see in a bullish state. So, what does that mean? So I'm looking at Lockheed Martin for a possible bounce for retracement. It's been dropping way too far, way too fast. So Lockheed Martin entry is going to look something along the lines of this. Make sure I get this right. All right, 524.30 or 29, right? Um, Maybe if you go to a smaller time frame, it holds a certain base you could accumulate over here. This is what you want to do. Stop loss will be around 517. 535.11 would be the ultimate TP. I don't think it's going to go for fair value gaps here. Again, we're in a downtrend. I do think it can get to 477. Then they're going to test some of these levels because we have not been back here since the break retest in December going into January. So with this momentum, it could be completely a disrespect move for all the ones that tries to be too bullish. And then they're going to use that liquidity to get them down here. So just be conscious of your levels and your entry. Do not hold, please do not hold it past this 503. They might crash right to 500 and sweep liquidity. ZOM all for the oil space as well. We got a nice little massive push to the upside. Again, another one that just kind of fell off a cliff, right? Not as bad as Lockheed Martin, but remember they had deep consolidations at these levels here. And then you had the deep consolidations here. Could this be just our breakout? This is our retest? Yeah, very possible. So if that's the case, then I'm looking for something along the lines of this level holding, pushing up, and then the real cascade is going to happen above 150. If you want to look for some option comps, I probably would go for like some 160s, 150s, right? Or 155 maybe. And that could go ahead and give you a nice little push. These confirmations will be kicked off at 12 o'clock because I always wait one more candle. Shout out to Avi, right? Wait for one more candle to confirm. Are we going to continue to the upside? Entry as close to 150.90 as possible. And that's where the bread gets buttered. All right, let's go over the spot. Last one. Spotify, oh, it's inside my range, so this is going to be very interesting for a reversal. So what should happen here is we get a nice little push, kind of like this, right? So we get a break below. So Meta did something very, very similar to this, and I was looking at some bearish momentum, but I already knew it was going to be very tricky. So I kind of said, uh, yeah, unless it has to close under that 505 with some strength and tell me that they're not going to even try to come back to the stop loss. As you notice, they're going back to 514 already. But this still can be sell side sweeps, just that way they could go ahead and sweep lower. So don't take anything away from it. But assuming that this is just going up to the bear range of this here, we should get a nice little rejection and then our entry right after. If not, they'll use this area as support. And if they use this area of support, we're going to flip this. We're going to call this trading plan reversal. We'll probably be looking at 512. You'll get this confirmation again at 12 o'clock, okay? 512.52. That will be the entry. Solid accumulation there. It would then, if we look left, you could see this is a very, very tough accumulation area. And we didn't make any higher highs here, but we sure enough didn't make any lower lows either. So could it be this 512 was just a retracement, just so they can sweep some more liquidity and get the momentum to bring us to 523? Ultimately, 536 is a possibility as it tries to get to those highs. I don't think Spotify will get back to its all-time highs, but I think this pullback was strong enough so that we can go ahead and push for the upside. If Spotify is completely useless, this could be a bear flag for continuation to the downside, and that's when you can play the bear range all the way down to the bull range right inside of there. Okay. Let's go back over to ES. Let's see what's going on over there. And we'll probably end after I break this analysis here. Down. Oh, what am I doing? This was Spotify. No, this was Coinbase on my one day. And let's put that up there. There goes ES. Oh, this thing's still pushing to the downside. Maybe I should have took some SPX puts. That probably would have made me feel a little bit better if I took it that way in options. It is what it is. Gets cheaper after 12 o'clock, so let's go. Ooh, excuse me. That's what happens when you wake up at 4 a.m. I was waiting for 12 o'clock so I can get some cheaper puts, and that's going to be my game plan. We'll see what happens there, but very solid 5 points. It should be about 5, 10 points. Yeah, 375. 325, 350, somewhere around 5 points would have been that drop. Nope. Here they go. They're going to eat it right back up. Not now you see why I said this green area, do not be the one that's trying to sell here. This is where buyers could be like, ooh, with the Birdman hands. It's just like, oh, he just stepped in right here. Let's use him and his stop loss and see how much max pain he can handle. And if you have your stop above this level, yeah, they're gonna go ahead and rip yourself a new one, right? But I would have loved a push into this area, then came back down, because this could be just let me come down to a 15 seconds so you can see what I mean. See this? We got ourselves a nice little move, right? Then they closed in here, then they closed in here, then they closed in here. But they build a whole position on the range stranger. It's crazy. Like, wait, we're bearish. I don't care we're bearish, right? That's what the deranged stranger does. I'm pushing this thing back up, and that's exactly what they're doing. Look for this thing to try to reject that 7193. I would love for it to come back up there, then I'll short it. But it can go ahead and reverse inside of here, just like this green range is a buy area. This red range is or white range I can't change the color. It's kind of silly what TradingView does. But anyways, this red area could go ahead and be our drop to the downside if they get enough momentum for it. But I would love the best trades and adds confirmations if we get a sweep above and then comes back inside of it. Kind of like a roller coaster reversing as it gets to the top of the apex. Right. All right, let's go back over to the 15 minute. Let's see what this is looking like. Still looks like a strong downside. Let's go over to the 45 minute. Looks like we're going to get ourselves a nice little reversal candle. They reversed the reverse, right? Long wicks on both sides, long wicks on the both sides. This was supposed to be bearish. Kind of call it two doji continuation. We'll see if it does. If they did continue to the downside, we get a fair value gap that brings us down to 21,162. If we do get back to the upside, they can get the rest of the fair value gap to 7,200. And if the momentum's right, all of that sell side liquidity could get us past 7,208. And where would we target if we did something like that? Let's just call it this leg. Mm-hmm. Reverse it. That's because I'm being a little lazy. I thought I had extensions on this side, but I guess I don't. 7,285, 7,413 would be insane if they did that. But I do believe if we hold 7,200, we will test psychological levels. And psychological level I find very interesting is that 7,400. So just keep that in mind. So that way you don't just burn through your money at all. My job is to make sure you're safe. Kind of like your local law enforcement, right? Well, probably a bad example. But you get my point. 7189 will have a lot of buy side liquidity to sweep if they close below there, kind of similar to how we closed inside of here. Very possible. All right, we're gonna get a new 30-minute candle. Let's take a peek at the 30 minutes so that we can see what's going on over there. Oh, we got ourselves a market dominance confirmation for the downside with a red candle. Right after, I would say still the range, right? 71.93. You want to be as close to that for an entry to the downside. Your TPs would be 71.91 for my scalps and 71.89 for the strange danger. Ultimately, TP3 would probably be 71.84. Which will be the bottom range, which we've tested in more ways than one. So you have levels. You have targets. These are places you could probably play. Just let the market come to you. Do not force anything. There's nothing spectacular or skillful of someone coming in with a sledgehammer, knocking people's heads. That's why a lot of these karate movies are like amazing. The stealthiness, the coordination, and all that. Be coordinated, folks. Sorry, I'm being a little delirious. I guess I'm sleepy. All right, give it like another 40 seconds. We probably wrap up at 10:30. Appreciate all of y'all. If y'all don't know, the Trading Journal, my album is out on all your favorite uh, streaming services. You can find it under Kalani Ward, my stage name, Kalani Ward. Uh, Lots of fun doing that. Just getting y'all traders in the right mindset. So that way you can be able to be the biggest trader and have generational wealth. With that said, I'm going to tap out of here because it looks like this thing is going to hold itself down. Oh, look at that. They almost got under. Oh, almost got under that the range stranger. Almost. Almost. Oh. Watch for the bounce. This is going to be very interesting. I think I would feel more confident of this with the close, but we do have a 30-minute if you want to be a little risque. Just thought about it because of market dominance. That should really bring us in that momentum. Even though you're kind of buying in the green, um, this red momentum should be strong enough to take us all the way down to these levels because that's the dominance. Shout out to market dominance. Anyways, that said, let me get out of here. I got stuff that I got to take care of. We will be back here again at 9:30. So yeah, I have